lion's mane, and it has different forms. There's different species. Some of them look a little different. They're all active. This species, reishi erinaceus, is the most extensively studied. You'll see if you go to the farmer's market, the lady that sells mushrooms at the downtown market, she's got some, and those are what's called bear's head. They don't have these long icicles, they're more compact. But they're all active, but erinaceus is the most highly studied. And it grows on trees. You will find it around here, but it's not that easy to find. But if you do find one and harvest it, go back the next year, because it'll keep coming back. And look up. If you're walking through the woods, look up. That's where it'll be. It's not usually at the base of the tree. So in Chinese medicine, it's called otogu, monkey head mushroom, also sweet and neutral. So its traditional actions and indications: fortifies the spleen and nourishes the stomach, calms the spirit, controls cancer. Used for general vacuity, that means that same weakness we talked about, and lack of strength, poor digestion, sleeplessness, stomach and intestinal ulcerations, chronic stomach inflammation, cancer of the digestive tract. My presentation is going to focus more on its cognitive effects, where it really stands out from the others. Any one of these mushrooms, you could do an all-day talk on if you wanted to be really comprehensive. So here's neurodegenerative diseases. Bioactive compounds extracted from lion's mane have shown to improve a wide range of pathological brain conditions, such as Alzheimer's, depression, Parkinson's, and spinal cord injury. In a large body of in vitro and in vivo preclinical studies on the central nervous system, the effects of erinacines, those are compounds in reishi erinaceus, have been correlated with a significant increase in the production of neurotrophic factors. That's nerve growth factor. So they found that these compounds in lion's mane can actually cause nerves to regrow and make new connections. So if there's any damage either in the central or peripheral nervous system, lion's mane is a very good idea to take it. Now you see it, Alzheimer's, depression, Parkinson's. That doesn't mean if someone has the full-on disease, you give them lion's mane, it's going to go away. As always, prevention is easier than treatment. So if someone is prone to it or they begin to have the very first signs of these conditions, definitely introduce it in. And you'll see there's some studies that can show a reversal, but not once it's really, really severe. So here's cognitive impairment. So this was a 16-week, which is not a long time for cognitive impairment, double-blind placebo-controlled trial. So they had 30 people who were diagnosed with mild cognitive impairment. So the treatment group got 3 grams per day of lion's mane powder and capsules. At weeks 8, 12, and 16 of the trial, the lion's mane group showed significantly better scores on the cognitive function scale compared to placebo. But 4 weeks after the trial ended, the scores decreased significantly. So that just means don't stop taking it. And it's non-toxic, and there's no reason not to take it. You'll see another trial later, where 8 weeks after the end, the effects were still there. Cognitive impairment is a little more difficult. So you just want to, my wife has a friend who's obviously getting cognitive impairment. She kept asking her, what did I just say? And my wife got really worried about her. So I just gave her some lion's mane and ginkgo. My wife said the last time she went to visit her, she actually had a normal conversation with her. So your results, may differ per person, but it's certainly worth giving it to someone. Here's an Alzheimer's study. 49 weeks, that's an entire year, double-blind randomized placebo-controlled clinical trial, 68 patients with mild Alzheimer's. This is the early stage. So they were given 1,050 milligrams per day of erinacine A enriched reishi mycelium or placebo. So let me unpackage that. Erinacine A is one of the erinacines in lion's mane, and that's known to enhance nerve growth factor and be active in the cognitive effects. So even though it's only a little over 1,000 milligrams per day versus 3,000, it was enriched with the erinacine A, which is highly concentrated. So the Parisian group had higher scores in the cognitive tests, better visual contrast sensitivity, and better biomarkers than the placebo group. So that's, actual Alzheimer's, but not early stage. So lion's mane has a very powerful effect on the microbiome. And there's a lot of theories now that a lot of its cognitive effects are due to its, I wouldn't say it's due to it because we already know it directly affects the growth factor, but partially due to its effect on the microbiome. Because now we're learning the microbiome affects every aspect of the body. So we're looking at the effect of Aranaceous on the microbiome. These are healthy adults. 13 healthy adults took a gram of lion mane powder 3 times a day for a week, so 3 grams per day. I think they want to do it 3 times a day just to keep it passing through the digestive tract. There was an increase in beneficial bacteria as well as bacteria that produce health-promoting short-chain fatty acids. Overall, there was a greater diversity of the microbiome after supplementing with lion's mane. That's after 1 week. Here's a study of mood disorders. 8-week control study with 77 patients at an obesity center. So they had 1 or more mood disorders, a variety of mood disorders. They were given 3 capsules per day of Haricium. It had 80% mycelium, 20% fruity body extract, or nothing. So the lion's mane group showed a decrease in depression, anxiety, and sleep disorders at the end of the study. That's only 2 months. These effects persisted 8 weeks after discontinuing the lion's mane. So a little different than the cognitive decline study. Here's a study with undergraduate students in Japan. I believe these were all females. You may have heard the reputation in Japan of really intensely putting kids through schools and preschools. I think they even have competition to get into the right preschool. So it's a very success-oriented culture. So the students there are numbered under high stress. Have you ever heard of what an Asian A is? I have Asian students periodically, and an Asian A has to be 100%. If you got like a 95%, that's an Asian B. So my Asian student told me this, I didn't think that. The point is that in a lot of Asian cultures, there's a very intense pressure on the young students to succeed. And most likely their parents suffer deprivation, so they know the importance of success in life. So these students are typically pretty stressed out. So they did a 4-week pilot study with 8 students, gave them a little less than 2 grams per day of reishi extract. At the end of the study, they showed improvement in measures of anxiety and sleep quality. So these are young kids. These are 18, 19, 20, 21. So they're not going to worry too much about cognitive decline. But anxiety and sleep quality are pretty typical student symptom. Here's the depression and anxiety study. 4-week randomized placebo-controlled study. 30 people were given 4 cookies containing a total of 2 grams per day of lion's mane powder. And they were also given placebo cookies, so it wasn't just the effect of having a nice cookie. So the subjects who had the cookies with lion's mane, they showed significant decreases in measures of depression and anxiety. Just 4 weeks. Here's another cognitive function study, 12-week randomized double-blind placebo-controlled study. 31 people. The treatment group, the average age was almost 62, was given 3.2 grams per day of lion's mane fruity body powder. The subject who received lion's mane showed a significant improvement in the MMSE. This is the mini mental state examination. It's a standard test for diagnosing dementia. Question? Yes?